What's going on, Alabama Nation? It's your boy, Coach Smook, with Coach Jay and Coach Shawn here on your Bama football on YouTube post-game show. Here with the coaches, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in today. I had the wrong layout up. My bad, y'all. What's going on, chat? Hey, run it up, bring it in. It is a W, but not like we wanted it. I cannot say I wanted it like that, but it's a win by all means. We're going to jump right into it, man. Before we get into it deep, though, you guys continue to come in, like, and share. Coach Jay, how you feeling tonight, man? How are you feeling right now? Let's jump in it, bro. We ain't got no time to waste tonight. Let's jump into it. Immediate post-game reaction. Give it to us, Coach Jay.
Well, to give you a quick assessment, I broke my camera because I smashed it against the door. So that should tell you all you need to know right there. So I need to get a new camera. This game, we had it should have never been this close. It should have never been this close. This was ugly. This was extremely reminiscent of the Texas game. We had 14 penalties, and 9 of them were pre-snap penalties. All of Texas A&M's, all their scoring drives, which, by the way, was short field possession. It was short field possession. Whenever A&M had to work 70, 80 yards, long field possession. Whenever they had to work the field long, Alabama's defense, but for the majority part, always had to stop. It was no scores allowed whenever we had them work the field. But whenever we came off of penalties because of pre-snap, whether it was a snap infraction, illegal formation, false start penalties, and we had to punt the ball away, which, by the way, we'll get into special teams and how piss poor they were able to do tonight. Besides that blocked field goal, which you got to give Browns some credit for that. But we gave them 17 points because of penalties. We gave them 17 points because we had to make them work the field. We thought that these issues were clean. We thought that Alabama had learned their lesson, but clearly not. 14 penalties and 9 of them pre-snap penalties. And it all happened for result of their scoring drives because we had to play like idiots. This was embarrassing. This was not the Alabama football that we were accustomed to seeing the last 2 weeks. This looked like the first half against Ole Miss. And it sucks because I really liked how Merrill overall played. He had over 300 yards passing. It was great. But overall wise, for what I was able to see tonight, ladies and gentlemen, no, this was not good. This was not a good look. And it seems like whenever we have big time matchups, stuff like this, where we start to play uncharacteristic, is going to happen. That's not a good look for us. Not at all.
Bro, listen. You guys know I'm the kind of guy, I give credit where credit's due. The win is what we wanted. But I told you last week, I'm the coach that it don't satisfy me when I see things that will get our ass kicked by other teams. I told you guys last week, I was unhappy with the production of the offense. Some fans thought I was complaining about the points. I could care less about the points. We was up by 25 or whatever it was. I said the second half, we did not score a touchdown. So the continuity part worried me. It was a concern for me. While Jalen played outstanding, penalties, more penalties, special teams suck. I'm talking about coverage-wise and return-wise. This is what I'm talking about. It does no good, guys, to do well in one phase of the game and suck in the other two, or do well in 2 phases of the game and suck in the other one. Offense, defense, special teams. You have to progress in these things, or a good team will beat you. We just made Texas A&M. Jeric was 100% correct. We just made that team look like they were way better than what this was supposed to be a blowout game, man. This is supposed to be a blowout game. We did everything in our power to lose this game. It's in the second half. We played well, but penalties. I for the life of me, guys, I don't understand why we just can't watch the ball on offense, man. We know the snap count. I understand loud. I understand noise. I've been in it before. The clap count. The side, just watch the ball. Just turn to the left and watch the ball. For the life of me, I'll never understand that, man. I don't understand the losing focus. I don't understand. It's just these weird penalties. Now, they did get us on one play. That blind side block, come on, man. That happens every game. He just bumped into the dude on the side, and you called a touchdown back for that. Come on, guy. They tried to get us on that. They tried to get us. They tried to pull a Tennessee on us on that one. But for the life of me, guys, I don't understand the penalties. As many points as we put up, as good as we play, as good as Milroe played, we were so sloppy that it didn't make no sense. And before any fans say just be happy with the win, I say this. My last line, as I said last week, these things will get you beat when you play better competition. That's all I want to say, man. We just made this team look 20 points better than what they was.
And it wasn't on the defense. That's the main thing I want to. I definitely that's the main thing I want y'all to understand. We have an elite defense. We saw a few wrinkles come out when Malachi Moore went down, but to see that secondary recover like they did after Malachi Moore went down, I was more than happy. But it wasn't necessarily the secondary. That defensive front, I saw people complaining about. I'm in a group chat with some other Bama content creators and analysts, and they were complaining about the D-line not getting pushed, but we held their offense to less than 20 was it less than 30 yards rushing in the first half. And we didn't commit the safety to the run game. We played their run game with our front seven. And I was more than proud. And just like Jeric said earlier, the scoring drives only happened when we gave them field position. When we put them in positive field position, there were maybe 3 big plays I can remember the whole game that we really gave up that were actual big plays that hurt us. A lot of big play drives ended in 3 points or, a punt, a turnover on downs. So I'm more than satisfied with our defense. Offensive line, the type of pressures that they were given, and this is my initial reaction. I haven't been able to go back and look at things, but yes, they look shaky, but they were getting 7-man pressures. You're not going to be able to block 7-man pressures. I don't care how good your offensive line. But when your offensive line is holding up 6 guys and you as the quarterback have four guys out in the pattern, you have to be able to identify where the opening is at. And there were plenty of openings where Dupree and E-Black were working the middle of the field. Yes, you got some nice completions outside, but you could have made it easier on yourself, Miro. And I understand. Let me get some super chats before I finish my statement. Coach SPH is the dad who tells you what you don't want to hear. He's the truth. Eric Thomas, shout out to
shout out to you, Eric. I appreciate you, my brother.
Shout out Big E for the $5 super chat. Duke to go. Sloppiest win ever. Facts, the battle of who wants to give away the West. Hey, Duke to go. Facts. 2020. Shout out to you for the big $5. Hey, and for the $2 super chat, Perry. A&M's offense, the last 2 second halves equals 3 points. And that's what I'm saying. It was not on this defense. When I say Milroe has to capitalize on a lot of these looks that Tommy Rees is calling, and we just got to understand, Tommy Rees uses the same style of offense that we've been used to seeing. He just calls it differently. And for this game, I would have loved to seen a lot more extended run test. I don't feel like we tried to test the perimeter enough to expose the middle of the field that ended up getting exposed in the second half. But I can't complain about the play calling when you see your wide receivers and your tight ends cooking. It's the 6th game of the season, Shawn. It's time for Miro to deliver the ball and deliver with confidence. It is time for you when you're getting 3.5, 4 seconds of protection on 6-man pressure. It is time for you to deliver the ball, Miro. Two of those sacks was not on him. They was just pressure beating the man. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But 6 sacks tonight, I think it was, or what did it end up being 7?
I stopped counting at 6. If it was 7, I don't know.
It was 6. The first 3 were on Milroe solely. So that's that. But this defense stepped up. This coaching staff maintained it. They kept it together when things could have got out of hand. Kevin Steele stepped up. Shout out to Kevin Steele and that defensive staff. I mean, called probably the best game. If we don't give them field position, we don't give up 17 points tonight.
We don't give them no points.
We don't give up 7. We maybe give up a field goal in that first drive, but other than that, we don't give up a touchdown. That touchdown came off of the bad field position, a bad field position play, the delay, and the thing is, even on that play, Shawn, and we was texting about it. Was it Malachi Moore was trying to call base? He was trying to check in the base because that he knew that delay was coming. That left guard and the left tackle just let the left side of the
left side facts.
They let him through.
Yep.
He was calling base before they called the snap, and everybody trying to tell him calm. No, he know how much this game meant, and to see that passion on the field. And I in the group text, I was like, man, I don't know if I like that energy, but I do when I finally see what was happening before play. You know what I'm saying? So overall, man, like you all said, a win is a win. But man, we're gonna dive into it. Let's break it down, y'all.
Let me say this real quick for Coach Smook
after
the next segment. I said last week on our last show, I said Jermaine Burton was my key I said, if that kid have a big game, we gonna put some points up. Because I
Mhm.
saw him, I see his energy, man. Y'all see after every catch, he pushing the player off of it. When a player is feeling himself like that, get him the ball. Get him the
Let
ball.
him eat.
Eat.
Let him eat.
And I'll say this, man. I get on, I gave Miro all the credit. And I hadn't gotten on him, but Coach Smook is 100% correct. It was 1,000 times in that game where you had crossers open, sitting down, waiting, crossing, waiting, and he just didn't even see him. He didn't even look.
They're doing this for you. Come on, Jalen. Get your eyes in the middle of the field. The middle of the field will save you. You want to advance you want to progress in your passing game, your understanding of the passing game. Look at the middle of the field before you try to get out the pocket. I will give and we're gonna get into our grades later, but the offensive line played about as best as we expected. I mean, this D line did not affect. They shut down the run game on the perimeter, but interior we was effective.
Ask anybody in the chat. Out of every game we played, the coaches on the panel as well. Have you ever seen Milroe with that much time to throw the ball?
Never. And this is supposed to be the best D line we played. The best defensive pressure. Their 6 sacks were not on the offensive line. Donna B, yeah. This my Twitter. This is my Twitter homie right here. Shout out to Donna B. Curious. Hey, the flags called on us were awful. Bama didn't do some of the things they were called on. I will say most of the flags called on our defense were BS. I would, but the offensive pre-snap penalties, that last one, Jance. I think that's the one we was kind of like that last false start they called on Jaden Roberts. I was like, nobody moved. The D line didn't move. O line didn't move. Like, what are they calling? And then
it's
the
like
one
they were
when
anticipating it. It's like they were anticipating it because we keep doing it so much. Like, oh, we might as well just throw the flag on this. They're gonna do it anyway.
Right. And I hate that. But y'all, and then also with Dallas Turner, like you all said, that was a ticky-tack call. But Dallas, you got to be smart, man. You got to.
Don't even give them that fact.
Don't even give them an opportunity to call it, even though it was BS. Do not give them the opportunity to call it. And I think this team this year grows from moments like that. Even with Kool-Aid, you see how Caleb Downs could have easily tried to jump that pass and intercept it, but he knew he got out his break late. And he just secured the tackle that would force them on 4th and 3. And they ended up having to kick that last field goal before they did the onside kick. Plays like that, if Kool-Aid doesn't try to jump the ball on that play, they don't even get that close to the end zone, to the end zone to be in that position to try to score. You secure the tackle, we turn over downs.
In fact, also Jalen Milroe has got to understand when they bring in corner blitz and they don't even hide it, they coming up. You got to see that. You got to scan the line of scrimmage. You have to scan that.
Cooper had 3 sacks on the exact same play because Milroe, he couldn't identify that he was coming off the edge. You just couldn't see it because he kept staring. He was prioritizing that first read instead of actually checking it out. We'll get into that.
Coach J, go ahead, man. Go ahead, because you're right on point. We're going to segue. Yeah. Let's jump on offense.
I like this Coach J right here.
Yeah, me too. This. Because the thing is, the facts are out there now. This is week 6, right? Who you are is generally on the field in week 6. We could say that about every team in the nation right now. Who you are in week 6, that's generally who you're going to be the rest of the season. Matchups might play out differently, but that's who you are. Alabama has shown who we are. Jalen Milroe can get in the passing game. We can call the right plays for receivers to get open. Jalen Milroe has to deliver the ball. Simple as that. Coach J, take it away. I know. Jump into it, man. Give us that assessment on Milroe, because I'm almost inclined to just kind of be on that bus of he just don't understand, but at the same time, I see in spots where he did improve. So give me your assessment, Coach J.
And that's what pisses me off about Milroe, because I'm one of those people. I know he can do it. I know Milroe can do it because I've seen him do it before. He's got to be more consistent. He has got to recognize that they ran the exact same play over and over. They ran that play. I actually counted. I actually have it written down here. They ran that play 19 times. That same blitz where Cooper's coming off the edge 19 times. And Milroe couldn't identify it one time. You know who was able to identify it whenever we had that extra player in the back was Jace McKellen.
Jace McClellan, Jalen Hill,
the only person to see it.
Amari Neblack. I saw it multiple times, Coach J, where these guys were literally pointing to the guy that was leaving them, and that's what you do as receiver. Coach Shawn, you offensive guy, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
if I'm at a wide receiver, if I see my wide receivers coming off the field, and I know Tommy Reese is saying this, because these routes are showing up. When the blitz is coming, guys are crossing the middle of the field. Yep. And you got to see that, Jalen. You got to see it. I'm passionate tonight, y'all. I'm sorry.
Jason, he's touching him. He's letting him know, like, hey, watch out for I think the 48. He's coming off the edge. He's literally touching him, pointing it directly at the defender. And Miro is still not recognizing it. I don't know if it's a lack at this point. I just think it's a lack of focus. I'm not going to sit up and say that he can't do it. I think it's a lack of focus. I think he's caught up in the moment, because there is no way that players are literally telling you exactly where the blitz is, and you still don't know where it's coming from, or you act like it's not coming from. There's no way.
Do you believe in that moment, in those moments, if we're at home, we see a different Jalen Miro? Because I saw moments last game where the same type of stuff and looks were being thrown at him, and he made the plays only on 12. And guys, we're going to dive into it. Let's continue with this Miro. Super chat right here. Tim Love at $9.99. He said, I called this whole game 24-17 with O-line being the MVP. Miro takes some of the worst sacks at times. Shaking my head. This is a blowout win with better decisions by him. Roll Tyrone, 100,000%. What do you think, panel? What do you think, coaches?
All facts.
100,000%. Another super chat. Professionally certified hater, $5 super chat, man. Hey, delete the entire O-line. I don't care how many stars you have or how much money you make. 9 false start penalties. Nah, it's week 6. Start over again. Right. I cannot agree with you more. As solid as they were in the positive plays and the type of production that they were able to produce, that pre-snap penalties, that's momentum killers, man. And luckily, I don't see anybody like at first glance and based off of the style, what I've been seeing put on the field, the product on the field across the SEC West, particularly, I don't see anybody being able to push us like A&M did tonight. And then a lot of these matchups are favorable, because we're at home. But we go down to LSU, y'all, and that's the next offense that's really, they're not scared to try us, and we cannot, let the defense go out there and they can
put up some points, bro.
Yes, man. So let's dive into it. We jumped on Jalen Miro a little bit. Coach Shawn, talk about the running back play tonight. I know the run game didn't pop off, but my first, initial reaction for the run game, I still think it was effective once we stayed inside the tackles.
The thing about it is Texas A&M ran a lot of run blitzes, man. They ran a lot of run blitzes. They really schemed us to stop the run. You know what I mean? If you really look at how they played us, they kept everybody in the box, man. It was so many people in the box, even on 3rd and 7, they still kept a gang of people close to the line of scrimmage. They were not going to allow us to run. You can definitely tell they've been watching the film on us without a shadow of a doubt. And the thing about it is, I figured it was going to be extremely tough to run the ball. And I heard about how their back end suffered a little bit. So I figured the opportunities were going to be there. That's why I highlighted Jermaine Burton. I knew the opportunities in the pass game were going to be there. The thing that just bothers me, though, man, in a win, and I hate to be the negative guy in a win, but guys, when you see us being negative, it's not with being negative on the team. It's just us pointing out stuff that will get us beat against better teams.
Don't apologize. Man. Don't apologize.
Yeah, don't apologize, because I believe.
Apologize.
Facts.
I honestly believe, Shawn, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm real amped up tonight. You guys have been on me about having the Bama goggles on, and it's not that I had the Bama goggles on. I just know week 6 we should know who we are. Week 6. I said week 4 earlier, but we had an earlier test with Texas. We just we weren't prepared for it. Coaching staff wise, mentality wise, identity wise. But week 6, we got 2 conference games under our belt right now. We should be cleaner on the offensive line, and Jalen Miro should be processing a lot faster right now. Take it back from me, Coach Shawn. I'm sorry, man.
Everybody remember this. When you bring 6 people on pressure, 6, 7 people, whatever you bring, up to 6 at minimum, that means you're playing man on the back end most of the time. Do you realize the last team that tried to play us like that was Ohio State in the national championship? They were not going to leave that 4-3 or 4-4, whatever that was they were running. They just weren't going to do it. And Devontae had 200 plus at halftime. If any team plays man like that against us that much, you have to make them pay. And Jermaine Burton did his thing. But what offset that is, again, it does us no good to play so well on the offensive side in spurts and give up all those penalties, man. It's almost like you take 5 steps forward to take 12 backwards. I think it was Coach Jay or said that sometime. those penalties are killer, bro. It's like you win, but you lose. It is at this point, just like the coaches said, at this point in the season, it is ridiculous. Shout out to my boy Big A. What's up, Big A? We have to be realistic with us being fans. We are in week 6 and still look sloppy. These other teams are getting better while we're looking average. Brother, I tell you that 100%. I don't understand. At this point, I can honestly tell you, I don't know what it is, guys. It almost makes me feel like, is his cadence different? Like, does he have different cadences?
Bro, it has to be. Coach Shawn, and that's what I want to let's dive into that part, because I don't think we have no real complaints about our defense tonight. Facts. I think with the changes and adjustments, we saw Campbell come in when we were getting beat in coverage with our linebackers. We saw Campbell get put in when they had to rely on the run. We saw Marshall come in. So I see what I assume would happen with that inside linebacker rotation. We didn't get to see a lot of Blackshaw because we didn't need the extra guy in the blitz. So we were able to stay within that 3-man rotation. Blackshaw spelled some, but I love the adjustments being made. But on the offensive side, it seems like Milroe is not accepting the adjustments, man. It's like it's taking him like, okay, coach say get the ball out quicker. Why am I, I could roll out and extend this play. No, you can't. Get it out. Throw it away. I would love Milroe. Let me pull his numbers up. I want to say his passing numbers were, he was 21 of 33. I want to say this says 21 of 33 for 321. Milroe should have been at least 24 of 39 with 4 throwaways to negate 4 of those sacks that he gave up. So you look at that, and we got a totally different game because you're making smart decisions with the ball. You're protecting, field position. This team has to clean it up fast. Coach Jay, jump on the tight end play. Are we getting to the stage where we're starting to see frustrated tight ends?
I really do, man, because of I have to go back to this interception that Jalen Milroe threw. If he can just look off that defender just for just a split sec, just a hair. Nye Black is wide open down the seam. Yep. And he can deliver that pass. That's a touchdown.
Hit that super chat for me, Coach Jay.
Let's see. Shout out to my boy. Let's see. Professionally certified hater. He says, I still can't figure out if Burton is good or sorry. Let's see. He said he makes one big play and then commits a penalty or drops an easy ball the next.
He's our best receiver.
Can I jump on this? Can I jump on this for 20 seconds? So Burton, the drop, I can understand the drop. You trying to make sure your foot this is not your home field. You're not used to this field. You know what I'm saying? You're not used to how it feels when you're coming out of your break trying to toe that line. So I could understand that last drop. It was contested. It was a tight throw. It was kind of late on Milroe. I would have loved him to release it at the top of the route instead of out of the break because he had him beat from the top. I mean, from phase 2. So concentration wasn't there, but he turns around and he makes another big play. And then I want to say, what was the other big play Milroe is? When he fumbled. You can't fault the guy for being aggressive, trying to set the tone. He was setting the tone for the wide receivers. And it was effective because you saw when Kendrick Law caught a pass, when Kobe Prentice caught a pass, them guys were fighting hard to get extra yards after catch. And in the run game, I saw good blocking on the edge by wide receivers other than that crazy screen call. Coach Shawn, respond to that super chat for me real quick.
Which one? Okay, Professor. I still can't figure out. But I think Burton is good, man. I think he's our best receiver. He's our best receiver. He's consistent. He's what I got on him last year. He had a tendency. He would run his routes half speed or something like that. It's almost like he didn't come out of his break hard at all. It's like now he pushed through his routes. He sinks his hips. I think he's our best receiver. Now he doesn't have the best hands, but you can definitely tell he's comfortable with the offense. He's feeling himself. He wants the ball. He's definitely our best receiver. Shout out to Bama Jeff 79. It's not about the W. It's about winning a natty. You harp on the details that will hinder us Bama fans from winning a ship. I got to agree with you on the point that I always appreciate a W, Bama Jeff, but I do agree with you 1,000%, man. It's hard to be accepting of this win when you know what we got coming up. We got Arkansas at home. We got Tennessee, then LSU, I think it is. We have 3 difficult teams, man, and penalties like that will get us beat. Yeah. All these 3 teams have quarterbacks who were there last year, so they're going to be more experienced than us in that position. And we make these mistakes. The thing I want fans to understand is, sure, we won the game. Sure, we look great passing the ball, stat wise. But remember this, guys. these same penalties have plagued us since last year. You know what I mean? And at some point, you're going to lose some games because of that. We lost Tennessee last year because of a penalty, because these penalties kept giving them chance after chance after chance. I said last week, we got to stay out of third and long. We got to get off the field on third down, and we have to play sound on special teams. It does us no justice, guys, to win 2 out of 3 or 1 out of 3. Or if you lose in each facet, this is what's if you lose in one of the facets, this is what happened. You take a team like Texas A&M that we should have absolutely blew out.
Yep.
You make it look
and
like
you give them a chance.
That's a fact.
And I'm gonna jump right on that train, because I literally said if we come out and we could start fast, we can get effective in the run game, interior run game, we will find success early in the pass game. It didn't go like that because we did not test the interior run game. I seen somebody earlier say we should have tested perimeter more. I don't know what y'all were watching, but that's when we were getting shut down because their linebackers were committed to containing the edges. They wanted to keep Jalen Miro. They wanted to force him up the middle. Every time he went to break out the pocket, somebody was on him. They wanted to force him up the middle, back up in the middle of the pocket. So I think we should have stayed on the interior run game. Yes, it was only yielding 2 and 3 yards, but those were your positive run plays. You got to kind of lean on that and hope that it continues to weigh and lean. We didn't allow the interior offensive line to get active into the second half, and we saw how effective it was. So I would love to see us to stay with that. And pre-snap motion, every pre-snap motion play was a positive one, guys, except for the crazy interception, that poorly thrown, like, I don't know what Miro was thinking when he threw that interception. That read, you don't, if you're going to throw that, use your power. I want to see you throw that short and under, because the safety clearly was not fast enough. If you throw it on time, knee black catching that and probably bouncing off that tackle.
I wish he would have just looked off the safety just a little bit. Just look the ball.
Look at the swing route.
Straight down, man.
Stared him down and made it easier.
Yep.
Look at the flare route. You just motion this running back out. They don't expect, they know you either want to throw it up top or you're going to check down. Look at your check down. And then when he did the beautiful play action, when he carried through the play action, guys, what happened? We saw a positive play. When he's just calm and allows the play to develop, the protection was nice tonight in pass pro. It was 3 plays where they got beat off 6-man pressure, but protection was nice. Let's jump on the offensive line. I know we want to continue to talk about Miro and his lag, but we saw spots when Miro, I don't think teams can sit back and just force him to read coverage. I will say that. We saw how that affected A&M. That's when he ate them up. I don't feel like people could drop 8 on Milroe now. My thing is when those pressure reads come, where's your quick reads? Where are you coming? Why are you not coming off your first read? And that's where my concern is. Offensive line. Let's give our assessment on the offensive line. But before we go there, Coach Shawn, address some of the comments, man. I see you reading the comments. Who do you want to get to, brother?
I was reading Jamie Bird right here. Jamie Bird. He says, I understand what y'all are saying, but if you can beat a team and make that many mistakes, that says something. Come on, fellas. But let me say this, Jamie. Jamie, this ain't basketball, Jamie. Listen to me. That analogy is I guess that's cool if you're playing Middle Tennessee and in a normal world, USF. Here's the thing, Jamie. In football, those mistakes don't happen by
happenstance.
Yes, facts.
This is really missed.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Yes,
you can't. This is stuff that has to be. I hear you, Coach Shawn. I promise you, I'm not trying to overtalk, but it's something that I've been preaching all day. I saw development in the right spots. I saw adjustments in the right spots. Like Coach J say, I love the defensive adjustments being made on every drive. But my thing is the key position that we need to click right now, he's not consistently clicking, and that's our quarterback. So I understand you make a mistake and then you capitalize, but we can't do that against LSU and Baton Rouge at 8 p.m. You get what I'm saying? We can't do that. That juju is something serious. We can't do that in Jordan Hare this year. You get what I'm saying?
Let me say one thing, Coach Mook, before you pass to Coach J. Guys, remember this, and I think it might have been Coach Mook who spoke on it earlier. Guys, if they're bringing 7 pressures, if they're bringing 7, 8 guys, whatever the case may be, you have 5 offensive linemen, and depending on what personnel you in, you may have 1 or 2 tight ends, and both of them might not be standing the block. 5 can't block 7, guys. It's going to be a free man somewhere. 6 can't block 8. So if you see these guys up on the line of scrimmage and they're not hiding it, they're not bailing, they're really coming. You got to have an alternate play or hot route or cross, something to get the ball out of your hands quick. You can't drop back 5 steps and look for the 9 route. You're going to get killed just like we was doing. That is where Bryce used to kill people. They tried to blitz Bryce, and some people got to him depending on the offensive line play. But if you brought too many and you played man on the back end, Bryce would have 300 yards at half, right? We got to get to the point with Jalen where he's got to understand that. He's got to see the blitz. He's got to understand if they're showing it, what to do. That's something we got to. I don't know if it's Jalen or the coordinator. I don't know what it is. I have no clue. I'm not at their practices. But that has plagued us. And again, better teams will capitalize on it. Because that boy getting hit right now. He getting hit on some unnecessary hits. That's a whole fact.
And shout out to my boy Ray. The O-line held up for the super chat, $2 super chat. The O-line held up. Milroe held the ball too long. I will say that. But there were times where you can, as a coach, and Coach Day, I'm going to throw it to you because you were talking about this timing thing with Jalen Milroe. And I want you to give your assessment. I mean, not your assessment, but your explaining of what you mean by timing to the chat that don't understand it, because they think everybody's 2 and Mac, but they're not. This play calling style should line up with Jalen Milroe's play set, but the holding the ball too long is a matter of, I think, trying to put too much trust in that receiving core when you really can help build their confidence when you break out or you make the quick check down by getting it into their hands faster. And yes, you got big play receivers, but give them an opportunity to make big plays with the ball in their hands sooner. That's what 2 and Mac were good at doing. I'm going to get the ball to Judy. I'm going to get the ball to Water. I'm going to get the ball to Smitty. I'm going to get the ball to Ridley. I'm going to get the ball to Ruggs. I'm going to get the ball to O.J. Howard. I'm going to get the ball to, all those different players. Najee Harris coming out the backfield. I mean, all these different players that they had access to, and you would see the ball in their hands within the first 3 seconds of the play. You know what I'm saying? 3 seconds into the game clock, play clock, or whatever you want to call it. So we need to get back to that. Coach Jay, take it away. Give us that assessment. You talking about timing on Jalen Milroe. And then we're going to jump to the defensive side because I think we really got saved. Our defense really saved us tonight. Before you jump into your thing about Jalen Milroe, get the super chat for us, Coach Jay.
Let's see. Shout out to my boy Tim Lovett. He said we're down to face 3 rushing quarterbacks that can throw back to back. This offense is going to have to score points. We can't have our defense on the field so much. Let's see, versus these next few teams, Jalen's got to be on point. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that.
100,000%. And the only reason I agree with you, bro, is because teams that don't have the arm talent but can run with the quarterback usually catch us because our secondary, and that's the only thing that I feel like is saving us. We have a front this year that is disciplined, and they're allowing DBs to be DBs and not secondary linebackers. Go ahead, Coach Jay.
So Jalen Milroe, the thing about Jalen Milroe is that for the most part, he holds on to the ball way too much. I think we all kind of agree with that. He holds on the ball a little bit way too much. When the first read is not that, when the first read really isn't there, he has a hard time of struggling of going to the second and the third read.
Facts.
Now he's getting better compared to Texas. He's getting better. So I'm not going to try to discredit Milroe, but it's at some point you got to be fast. You got to go to your check down.
Speed that clock up.
You got to go to your hot route. Like if you're rushing 6 or 7, somebody's got it. Someone's open.
Yep.
It's all about, can you identify that quick enough? Because if you can't, especially when you're going against faster defenses, like you saw today against A&M, who really in the back end didn't have that much speed. But when you play against Georgia, or if we're lucky enough, and let's say we get to the playoffs and you play against Michigan or Ohio State with that speed that they have, you're going to get killed every time because you're too slow. And yes, like a second or two, that's too much time. Especially if they're standing 5, 6, or 7. So it sucks that A&M had 6 sacks, and a lot of people are going to blame the offense for the lack of protection. Where if you kind of go back and watch it, a lot of these sacks happened because Milroe held the ball too long. He was going to his first read. He couldn't look at the second or the third, even though that they were open. And as soon as you give them too much time, you give the defense to recover. And they automatically see, okay, he might go to this one. Let me try to get this down.
Let me try to recover now.
Like by the time you get to your second, your third, it's done. The play is over with. Unless somebody's going to try to break free away, it's done because you couldn't see that. You couldn't process that fast enough. And that's what Milroe's got to get better at. And that's why I'm so frustrated, guys, because I've seen him do it. Yeah. It's consistency. And again, maybe it's the cadence, maybe it's a lack of focus. I have no idea why. But at this point of the season, where we've seen the good Milroe, we've seen bad Milroe, we got to get focused. next 4 weeks actually, because after LSU you play Kentucky, who has a pretty good defense. They're extremely. That might be one of the fastest secondaries we'll probably see in the SEC. Guys that can really punish you for not going through your progressions quick enough.
Let me say this, Coach Smook, before you jump in. We also, I hope they work with Jalen. When Jalen rolls out on these rollout plays and nothing's there, you can't take the sack, man. Throw that thing away. Throw that thing. Get out of the pocket. Throw that thing away. Even on plays where he scrambles and you're rolling out, you're just trying to get away. If nothing's there, get outside the box and throw that thing away. Please, if you can help it, you can't take the sack right there. Trying to hold the ball. That reminds me of Tua. I swear it do. Tua would hold that thing to the last second, man.
And then ankle sprain.
Yeah, and you can, and let me say this real fast. You can tell by how Texas A&M played us. That is the pattern how teams are playing us. I'm seeing a lot of similarities in how teams are playing us on the defensive end. They're trying to make Jalen Milroe beat them. They're not going to allow it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and they trying to give him an opportunity to show that he has the ability. Like today, I just wanted Jalen Milroe on that when the second time when they lined up 7 guys across the line of scrimmage, and they had their DBs 7 to 9 yards off of our receivers. I was just waiting for one time. I don't care as if I'm a QB coach, offensive coordinator, I'm telling my quarterback, if they line up 7 across the line of scrimmage, within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, you find your hot route. Come off the single side read, go to your strong side read. Some one-on-one is easy to read when you got time. But 3-on-3, everything on the wide side of the field is easier to read when you got 7 guys pull into the pocket. You're not even trying to drop back. You're trying to plant and get it out quick. So I want to see that development. I want to see that level of development. Coach Shawn talked to me like a second grader. What kind of plays should the OC be calling for Jalen Milroe? Shoot, hey, let me tell you about one thing about Coach Shawn and me. This play calling style, we was not with it tonight. We wasn't with it, but it was working. My thing is, I wanted to see the run game be implemented. I wanted to see the play action pass get built off the run game, but there was no way we was doing that the way that they were still in the edge. So when we evaded the run game and we saw effectiveness in the pass game, the deep ball, Jalen Milroe giving wide receivers great opportunities to make plays on the ball, that gave me confidence in his ability to throw that downfield pass. But his timing even on the intermediate routes, some of them plays and them completions were literally effort plays by a wide receiver. So I hope in film session this week, and we got to stop grilling Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody else in the chat said earlier, y'all act like he got 30 starts on his belt. I understand. But this is your starter now. Your progression chart, you're evaluated on a different level now because you're getting the game reps. You're getting the experience. We need to see that growth. I don't remember seeing Bryce have this lesser progression in conference play. You get what I'm saying? I don't remember seeing Mac Jones have that little progression, especially when your offensive line is growing. So I would love to see him continue to progress in this. And I think we're gonna be all right though. Overall, if he could just figure that small thing out, like you said, Coach Shawn, if he could figure out that quick pass game, identifying the hot reads when we have to rely on the pass game, I think we see a team that's really unstoppable. Because like you all said, 40 plus points.
Let me quickly answer, if you will, Greg Reed. First of all, we thank you, Greg, for that super chat. Appreciate that, brother. Bless you. When we say kind of plays, I'll just stick with tonight. I won't even go against the grain of what we should have done and all that. What we mean is Jalen has a progression that he goes through, Greg. He has a first read, a second read, third read, normal. I'm saying what normal quarterbacks have. You know what I mean? He has a hot route. These are all different things that he go to in the midst of these different plays that are called by the offensive coordinator. I don't know how much leeway they give Jalen. If this was Bryce had the leeway to change the play at the line of scrimmage. If he saw the play that was called was not going to work because they play in the coverage that is going to aid the defense, he had the power to change the play or to change things or change hots or change different levels of the play at the line of scrimmage. With Jalen, when something's not open, the young man tends to hold the ball too long. The offensive line, the offensive line can't block forever, guys. If they give you about 3 good seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3
Mississippi,
Mississippi, that is great time to get rid of that thing, man. Jalen, what he's trying to do, I don't know if he's looking for the big play every time. It kind of goes with Coach Jay was saying. I don't know if he's locking on to one person and just waiting for that one person. I don't really know yet what is the problem. But what he's doing right now, Greg, is he's holding the ball. He makes great plays, don't get me wrong. And the way that this defense played us allowed us to do that tonight. But each week, another team will watch you play. They'll have that film on you, so they'll adjust to your last game, especially the next opponent, right? So Jalen is holding the ball too long right now. I'm not grilling Jalen because he played probably his best game tonight, stat-wise. Let me make sure I put that in bold letters. But the fact is, Greg, when you hold the ball long against a team like that plays man, it's like Coach Jay said, somebody's open. You got to find him. You got to scan through your read. You got to find the guy that's open, because if you don't, a good pass rushing team is going to get to you. You know, and that's just what happened tonight, over and over and over again.
Right. Shout out to my guy Sergey Man One. Tommy Reese asked Chat GPT which play to call next. I don't know about that. I was more than satisfied with the play calling tonight, man. I would have loved, like I said, it's things that you would want to see, but given that defense, you got a quarterback who everybody y'all complain he can't make the pass. This man had 300. How many passing yards?
321. I think 321.
321, and the interception he threw was just, it wasn't even an ill-advised throw. It was the way he threw it. Because I honestly believe he had arm talent to get the knee black in that hole, but you know, it happens. Moving over to the deep. What you had some, Coach Jay? I'm sorry.
Real fast. You know what I think he's doing, Coach Jay, Coach Smook? And it's just a humble guess from what I see. When he's throwing intermediate, it's almost like he's looking deep route first.
Yeah. And he don't let that intermediate go like he do when he go, even on his short outs and all that.
Yeah.
It's like he trying to direct the ball instead of throw it on the intermediates. And I don't like that, because you got guys like Knee Black and Bonds just coming across your face into the third window. And if you just throw the ball, you catching them in stride. Even his pass to Bonds was behind. And I mean, let it go. Bonds is fast enough. You get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I definitely noticed that, man. It's like I see the confidence building though. The more we put him in those situations, I see the confidence building. It's just stop taking those sacks. Yeah. So now let's jump to the defense, y'all, because I don't think we dogging the defense because of how solid they played in the second half. We did see some concerns early in the first half, but I continue to say it, guys. I see in-game adjustments being made that we just haven't had the luxury of having in the past, 4 or 5 years. We haven't seen in-game adjustments on the defensive side. Coach Jay, give me your take, man. Is the defense returning to, Bama form? Can we start to kind of believe that hype?
Absolutely. Because, again, and I say this about the Texas game as well, is we've had 2 games now, well, really 3. You can make an argument, 3 games that we've had this year where the offense is putting this defense in bad situations and they have to bail them out, including and the only difference was that today it was the offense and special teams, right? Because we had the shank punt by Burnup, which set them in right in I think kind of inside the 30. Inside the 40, inside the 42-yard line. And the second was a return by Nia Smith, which set them up on the 22-yard line. All 3 of their scoring drives, ladies and gentlemen, the longest scoring drive by A&M tonight was 53 yards. Yep. 53 yards was their longest scoring drive. Every single scoring drive they had, ladies and gentlemen, was literally the defense working with the short field. So I agree with you. We made the necessary adjustments. I thought our defensive line today was great. I thought Tim Keenan once again had a really, really good performance, especially as a pass rusher in the interior. I thought Jaheim Otis had one of his best nights rushing inside the interior. And Dallas and Chris Braswell were just bullies all game. We're bullies all game. If there was one thing I guess I just didn't like about the defense is that we kind of went a little too conservative on certain plays. There were times when we would try to rush 3, or if we were gonna blitz, we would send both our linebackers in, but it's only we're rushing with 4 people instead of sending extra guys. Whenever we sent 5 or 6 dudes after Max Johnson, they could not handle the pressure, couldn't handle the adjustments, couldn't make the changes. Even with extra protection, they couldn't handle the pressure. So That was one thing, is that I do wish that we played a lot more aggressive at times. But no, I thought this defense played great. I thought the defense played really well at all. It was just some of the broken plays or some of the plays or some of the explosive plays we let up. We were just not in the right positions. Kool-Aid tried to go for a strip instead of making the tackle, which set a night, which luckily that didn't count as a touchdown. Otherwise, we could have been having a different conversation. But it's just, for the most part, defensively, they are the reason why we're in a position we are right now, which is still fighting to make the playoffs. This defense has been spectacular.
Right. Shout out to Donna B again with the $5 super chat. She said, I'm worried about Malachi maybe not going forward. Coach Shawn, I was definitely going to toss that one to you because you know, I tell you this before you go.
Yeah.
All three of us big on Malachi. Y'all know Malachi was 2020. I remember the takes on Malachi. I remember us, being confused when Branch replaced him as the starter in that position. I thought Malachi was going to be in Branch's position. I thought Malachi would be gone by now, to see him out there and to see him take that injury. Oh my God. Coach Shawn, take it away.
To the coaches on the panel, to anybody in the chat that's coached or played, it's weird or bad. I don't want to say bad, but it's not good when the guy can't put no weight on it. I know how that feel. I had Achilles injury twice. You know what I mean? When you can't put no weight on that thing, bro. Maybe it's a high ankle sprain because I've known high ankle sprain. Which one is it that's real bad? One of them.
The high ankle is pretty bad, but they got these new studies and medicines, bro. Yeah. It's crazy on that recovery time.
Maybe it's just a high ankle, guys, and he'll be back. But the fact that he couldn't put no weight on that thing, that was concerning.
And it was scary to me because I tore my ACL similar to a hit like that. Only difference was the guy was on my shoulder pad and my body weight is going the other way and he bends me back that way. So, and that's what I kind of saw when he got rolled up on. But we praying for the best, y'all. But the importance of Malachi Moore in the secondary, guys. We know this guy is the is the guy. He's our guy. And do we see this injury bug trying to creep back up on Malachi and kind of slow him down, or is this one of those things where because he wasn't just being lazy. That's one thing I'm happy about. The injuries we've seen from players this year, Lawson, Malachi, these guys weren't being lazy. Ferguson, extra effort stuff. So we see the mentality is changing. My thing is the Malachi Moore injury bug back, and how does this affect him going forward if it's not that serious?
Go ahead,
Coach Jay, you can take it away. Yeah. It's his boy. This is boy.
Yeah, man. I got. Oh man, see that's and the funny.
He got emotional. Look at him.
Yep, that's why I'm not on face cam today, man. As soon as I saw the injury, man, I threw the camera. It was broke. So it's Malachi Moore means so much to this defense. Definitely, probably you can make an argument the best run defender on the team. Just an excellent player, man. And oh God, listen, guys. I can barely talk, man. Malachi Moore is very important to this defense. I do hope it's a high ankle sprain. It looks like it, because I've had a high ankle sprain in the past playing football, and you can't put any weight on it.
Yeah,
right. It's like a stinger, but like with times 1,000. It hurts like absolute hell.
Yep.
When you have that high ankle sprain, so. I'm just praying that it is. If it is, he's probably going to be out maybe 4 or 5 weeks at tops, which is kind of good for us. He's not out for the season. It's going to be interesting to see who fills in that gap. I mean, I think they had Trey Amos in there, and we'll see how Trey Amos can play. Maybe Christian Story can come in there. We'll see what happens of who's going to potentially fill that slot. But again, I think what kind of could make up for his loss is our pass rush. Our pass rush and how we play in the front seven. Notice how we've gotten better. Like ever since the South Florida game, we've gotten that unit has gotten better and better and better.
Yep.
The first 2 to 3 weeks, you can make an argument the secondary was carrying. Now all of a sudden, this front seven, they're playing their absolute asses off right now, and that's going to make up a lot for it. That's going to make up a lot for it, and that's going to make Trey's or Christian, whoever steps in there, that's going to make their job a little more easier for them. But man, it's a tough blow, man, losing a Malachi Moore. Definitely, you can tell he is the leader of that secondary and the main communicator, and just to see him gone, that definitely sucks.
Yeah, and I see I see everybody in the chat getting on the Christian Story. We've been asking for Christian Story for 2 years now, and this is possibly why he's been getting passed up. I would not. Christian Story gave me what's his name? Wright, the Wright kid we just had a couple of years ago.
Daniel Wright.
He gave me Daniel Wright vibes, bro. His reaction to the play, his reaction to the ball in the air, his run support. Like, if it ain't an obvious like ball hanging in the air for 7 seconds type junk, I don't have no confidence in Story playing the ball like that. And then on run support, he looks like he's scared to come up and hit. And it might be because of the injury bug that's plagued him since he's been at Alabama. But right now, give me Jake Pope or Tony Mitchell or slide.
Jake Pope.
You get what I'm saying?
Slide
Arnold back there and bring Earl Little underneath that star. Or you know what I'm saying? Something. We're a good 7 or 8 deep at the cornerback / safety area. Where we can find somebody that wants to at least run support. Because I think Caleb Downs is his progression is off the charts. Go ahead, Coach Shawn.
Can we give some love to your boy who you've been telling us about from week 1? Let me tell you something about this kid, number 3, bro. Listen, he is slowly becoming my favorite player outside
He's the
of
best
Malachi
corner on the field right now, bro.
Look, man, Terrion, let me tell you something. Terrion, even when he recovered and make a play. See, thing about defensive backs, you really can't learn how to play DB until you get beat a few times. You know what I mean? In game, you have to really get beat deep in game to really learn how to play that position. I know it sounds crazy, but any DB would tell you, you really have to get beat to learn how to play, what not to do in that position. Terrion, let me tell you something, man. To keep that kid, you know, I know he made some plays in the special teams and he made 1 or 2 long plays, but Terrion really locked him down for the whole game, right? They was trying to move him to get him away from Terrion, if you want the truth. You know what I mean? So Terrion Arnold,
who he came back and ate up? Was that Trey Amos? He came back and ate up?
Yeah, he was on number 9. Yeah.
Ate him up. They was not about to, but you see, and I said it when they moved Terrion to that star.
Yeah, man.
That caused confusion for any defense because now you got a cover guy that like to come up and tackle.
Yeah.
And he actually got the speed to cover because we know Malachi Moore has never been a lockdown cover guy. He had his strong points. He could shoot the flats good. He could jump the underneath good. But downfield coverage is not Malachi Moore's strength. You got a guy in Arnold that can do that for you.
Facts, man.
And I would love to see him kind of like mixing snaps with Earl Little so we don't keep him from the perimeter because him being on play.
Man, I wish Earl played because number 9 didn't disappoint me, but I'm gonna tell you something. I did realize number 9 is stiff hip though, man. His hips are
very
stiff.
very. I think Coach Jay was talking about that when he got in against was it Texas when Jordan Watkins that worked him on the little stem route.
Very stiff.
Like
hip, man.
It was the weakest stem route I ever seen, and he just can't get out of his. It's like he sits and his chop out of them, them chop steps we talk about coming out of your break.
And we know what happens to corners when you have the least the size and you can't and you stiff hip, they put you back on the hash. They put you in safety.
And we might need to do that with let him, because I know for a fact, and Coach Jay, you would attest to this. I know for a fact Caleb Downs can walk down and cover.
It's a fact.
Okay, Coach. So, like I said, I created a banner, y'all. Who do we think steps up in the secondary? Coach Shawn, you take it away.
Man, I tell you what, I think they're gonna have to do some digging because if you're gonna take Terrion off the boundary or the field side, whichever one he played, and put him back at that star, you want to find another boundary or field side, whatever he played. And Trey Amos ain't bad, man, but the teams we're about to play, LSU got some burners out there. Arkansas got some burners as well. So I don't know, man. I hope we do get Earl Little ready to put him back there to safety. I hope we do, get. I would see some other kids, man. I wouldn't mind seeing some other kids because the secondary it doesn't stop. The young man from Arkansas is going to test us. He can throw. He can run. He's not Cam Newton by any stretch of the imagination, but he can throw that thing.
He can give you some Cam vibes.
They give some Cam vibes. The next 3 teams we play have veteran quarterbacks. So, I don't know who they're going to get back there, Smook. I really don't know based off they took Terrion and put him in at star. Mm-hmm. So they may even go with the same secondary we saw tonight after Malachi got hurt. I just don't know, man.
You know what I'm excited to see as I pass to Coach Jay, with Malachi being down and we see Story getting over top. Smitty's supposed to be back around this time. They said at the beginning of the season he will be out, anywhere from 5 to 7 weeks in the season. So we're getting into week 6, week 7. Hopefully Devontae Smith will come out and start getting some spot plays. But it's a guy that we're not mentioning, Coach Jay, and it's cornerback Jaleel Hurley. This guy was trending upward towards the end of fall camp, and quietly but consistently was getting second team reps with Jalen Key, with Trey Amos on the perimeter, and he was the other boundary corner with Earl Little at the star. So will we see Jaleel Hurley possibly get thrown out there in the boundary if Amos begins to struggle on the perimeter? Because I don't see them moving Arnold out of the star as long as Moore's down. That was too much of like a field position for us to see that. So who do you see, Coach J, possibly feeling that stepping up for Malachi Moore being out?
Well, first of all, like I said again, if Devontae Smith is healthy, I'd slide him in there. Earl Little, I wouldn't mind seeing Earl Little in there. I don't want to see Christian Story in there. I don't want to see the possibility of Arnold being sliding the star. And then you have Amos play. Listen, when we go against LSU, because when that game happens, LSU has a top 10 quarterback in college football that's even better than Quinn Ewers and Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
And the only difference is that Jaden can actually run. He has legit 4.4 speed. He can throw the football. He can anticipate. He can go through his reads extremely quickly. And he has arguably the best receiving duo right now in the country with Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. There is no way in absolute hell I am putting Trey Amos, probably your least physical outside boundary corner, against Brian Thomas, against a 6'4", 220 receiver. There is absolutely no way in hell I'm doing that.
I'm putting Arnold on that. I don't care. We matching up. We following. We shadowing. What you say, Coach Shawn? When you want that, we shadowing.
Facts.
Next game, I'm not even putting Kool-Aid on no Thomas. No, I want Arnold on the bigger receiver. I love his play on the ball. I love his physicality at the point of attack. When he misses, he recovers strong. Like it was just textbook. Coach J, I'm sorry, man. You brought my boy up. You know, I get excited about my boy Arnold.
Oh no, I'm Terrion has to stay on the boundary. There's no way in hell.
Facts, man.
No way.
Facts, Coach J.
If we're gonna get beat, I'd rather get beat on the inside because we can address that by putting in some. Again, put in Jake Pope, put in Earl Little. You have other guys. What happened to Des Ricks?
I know.
Where's he at?
I can't trust Des Ricks right now. And I know he's probably your best man corner. You know what I'm saying? Like he's probably your best lockdown guy. I can see that. But I want to see Earl Little, man. Earl Little showed me a type of maturity that you want in that secondary. If you talking about having two young guys out there, Earl Little and Caleb Downs, I like that combination better than, trying to put like you said, I don't like Amos's technique.
D. Dubois said Antonio Kite.
Now, so what I've heard is Antonio Kite, that ankle injury he had coming into this season was pretty serious.
Yeah. So
I don't know, because we know Kite is bought in for the long run. I think Kite is a one-year starter, go into the league, late first round, early second round type guy. Yeah. He's that type of guy. We don't hear a lot of buzz about him, but I wouldn't, if he's healthy, definitely put him back there safety. And Devontae Smith and I see this comment, and I know we ready to see this guy. Devontae Smith, I'm ready to see this guy. The upside he was getting, the type of trend he was getting from Coach Saban coming into the season. Coach Saban is all about solidifying the top half of their defense. And when your name is being mentioned as a starter, you see what happened. Tim Keenan playing like a starter. You remember he said that? Yep. Look at what Tim Keenan is doing now. It took him a couple games before we saw starter Tim Keenan claimed by Coach Saban to show up, but we see him the last 3 games. So, I would love to see Earl Little in there. And if Smitty's healthy, let's get him in there. Guys, anything else on the secondary before we transition to this coaching staff and what we saw from them and why we get ready to wind it down?
Can I give some love to Will Riker, please?
My boy.
That's the MVP of the game.
Yeah, exactly. Kick, punt, whatever. We lost our punter, one of the best punters in the country. No sweat. I'll just go punt. I'll do it.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Coach.
Will Riker, man.
And I believe Connor Tauti got recruited to Alabama for his punting game, but they turned him into a kicker.
Yeah.
They're forcing him. So I'm watching this Georgia beatdown. But I would have loved for Connor to get out there and give him an opportunity to at least kick off. You know what I'm saying? Start to build that momentum like he did last game. Because I would hate to see Will Riker go down and this guy have a pressure situation right now. So special teams, I think other than Kool-Aid's indecisiveness, performed pretty well tonight. We didn't get a lot of holding calls on the special teams. That bull crap, man. Son, I'm usually not a cry to ref got us this game, but the refs tried to take this game from us.
Oh man, did they? Man,
the last 2 drives, the block kick return. What else? I mean, plays were just the false start on our offense, the second one that they call on Jaden Roberts when he was literally just getting down to his stance. And I mean, like, it was one of those things where I was like, man, this can't go down like this. But one thing I will say about this team, composure. I saw composure from the coaching staff. We didn't see Coach Saban really snapping tonight. We saw composure. And that's what I want to highlight, guys. This coaching staff. Let's give our grades while we talk about the coach staff. Give your assessment on the coach staff, Coach Shawn, and some of the adjustments you see made on both sides of the ball. And then give your overall grades for both sides of the ball, offense and defense. We don't even get into the particulars. Let's offense and defense, and let's take it that way.
For me, the way this offense, the type of offense it is, because number 8 toting that thing, man. The guy that was committed to Alabama, then flipped Texas A&M. What was his last? Moss, Coach J.
Yeah. Lavian
He
Moss.
toting that thing. So yeah, man. So for the defense to play we did, the way we put the pressure on the last quarter and fourth quarter, man, the defense for me get an A for this game. I can't give them none but an A, man. I mean, they played outstanding.
Leading group for defense with the A.
Yeah, man. I got to get them the A, man.
Who's the leading position group for that A?
For this game?
Yeah.
Man, as if we going not individual position group, I got to go with the defensive front, man. The defensive front.
Yes, sir.
That Tim Smith played his ass off. 91 was balling. And I'm saying something, Jaheim Otis is getting more and more comfortable playing that position, man. Because Tim Keenan, I'm so impressed with that big rascal. That big rascal putting pressure on people, man. Be that big. He played
Damon Payne.
Yes, number 44. Yes, he balling. So the defense gets an A for me. The offense, I got to get an offense, and I'm not a stat guy, man. I again, we see things that'll hurt us down the road. The offense, due to the running game, I get an offense a C plus. You know what I mean? I give them a C plus, and the special teams another A. As far as the specialists, as far as the kick specialists, our returners. Nah, I got to get him like a D, man. I was probably more disappointed with what went on with our returners, man, because I don't know if Kool-Aid getting the heebie-jeebies. I'm not sure. Maybe he's just getting antsy and want to break one and not focusing on the catch. I don't know what it is, but he got to catch that thing because that could be catastrophic. We got some home games coming up, but still, just be patient. It'll come, man. It'll be patient. It'll come.
What's crazy?
AACD.
Okay. It's crazy that you said that about Kool-Aid because my thing is, you remember when Cyrus Jones had the sparks before the year he became the sole starter at corner?
Yep.
And he had sparks in punt return, and he couldn't break one for that whole season till the national championship. When we got in against Michigan State, and he started going, he doing the skip to my loop, the high skip. So I feel like that's the stage Kool-Aid is in because we see him playing uncharacteristic in the secondary and his coverage too.
Yeah, man.
Too many times your back is to the ball when the ball is being thrown your way. I don't
not
like
one
that.
To tackle either. Not one to tackle. He I don't know what that is. Very lazy tackling.
Think we about to make a trip this week, Coach Shawn. Coach Jay, give me a assessment. Oh, did you go about the offensive side? Did you talk about the offensive side?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave him a C plus.
Okay. Coach Jay, take it away, man. Give your assessments both sides, how you saw it, give them grades, and then do your thing.
My grades are literally similar to Sean's. I mean, offensively, I gave him a C plus.
Right.
I was gonna give him a C, but I just gave him a C plus. Only reason I got to give him a C plus was again the offensive line for the most part. I'm not gonna blame it on them when it comes to pass pro because I think Miller was just holding on to the ball too long, not really going through his reads as fast as we would want him to. I did not like the fact how we just got away from running it in the inside. I understand that that's what A&M was prompted up for, and that's again they stacked the box a lot. But for the most part, we can't keep trying to run outside to the perimeter when they were just prepared for that the entire time, and we're getting around 2 yards per chunk. It was to a point where in the earliest part of the second half, we ran for I think -7 yards because we kept trying to run it outside the perimeter instead of running it in between, trying to get to the A gap or even the B gap. Yep. We just ran away from that. And I think that kind of set us up and put us in really bad situations. There's going to be games where pretty much a lot of teams, they're going to force us to throw the football. They're going to force Jalen Miro and beg him, let's see if you can beat us with your arm. There's going to be a lot of good defenses that's going to try to, and even faster defenses that's going to try to do that. Maybe not even because Jalen Murrow has a phenomenal deep ball he can make you pay, but it's the fact that, again, he just can't go through those reads fast enough.
Right.
And I think defense is going to take a look at that, and they'll try to draw up a game plan of saying, well, how can we confuse him? How can we make him, stare on that first option a little bit more, a tap, but more until we can try to get to the quarterback. So, I give them a C+, including with Tommy Reese. He wasn't that bad. I thought a lot of the passing plays that did work. You got to give him a lot of credit for it. Defensively, I give him an A+. I understand that we gave up 20 points, but I'm giving them an A+. The fact that for the most part, guys, I think 6 or 7 times they had to work with short field possession, and I think 2 or 3 of those times came in with no points. You got to give them a lot of credit, because when A&M actually had to work at least 70 yards down the field, they was no scores. Even their first drive was 62 yards. They ended up getting a field goal, but whenever they had to work with with long field position, this defense balled out, and they set us up in great field position, right?
Coach Jay, to your stat about how many times they had it in plus positive field position, it was 7 drives that they started in positive field position. That's supposed to be at minimum, you think, maybe 21 points at max. Max 49 points, and the defense only gave up 20 total points.
And that was the exact same issue we had against Texas. They kept working with short field position. Like that's not going to work against better offenses, against great with way better personnel and better coaching.
Whole facts, Coach Jay.
It's ridiculous. I'm thinking, oh my God, if Steve Sarkisian was coaching for A&M this game, I just imagine the amount of points that they could have scored. But no, I got to give them an A+. Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner they're back in the conversation for first round status. Maybe even I'll take Chris Braswell over Turner, in my opinion. He's been consistent.
I don't know. He eating, but Turner done turned that switch on, bro. Come on now.
He did.
He mauling dudes.
He did, man. But you didn't see Chris Braswell power rushing.
He is
with the power rushes.
Yeah, he's the engine, bro. He's the engine. I will say that he's going to get a lot of recognition because of his engine. His motor is something different, bro. Turner is he picks his spot so perfectly, man. It's like, I mean, it makes me forget about Will Anderson sometimes, because even the way he sets his moves up in the pass rush, it's like he pick and chooses when he wants to be the one affecting the pass game. When he wants to be the one absorbing, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he's getting a better sense of that. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think,
game. The comparison I would probably give them to, and maybe some of you Bama fans won't know this, he reminds me of Jerry Hughes, Dallas Turner. Reminds me a lot of Jerry Hughes, and I think that.
What you know about Jerry Hughes, though, Jay?
Buffalo.
Hey, I'm a Bills fan, dog. I've been watching Jerry Hughes for a long time, man. But no, he reminds me a lot of Jerry Hughes. But Chris Braswell is ridiculous. Both those guys are going to be in the first round conversation. That's for sure. But no, I love our defensive line. I love how we're including more players into the rotation, and that they're doing an excellent job, especially in the run game. A&M was one of the best teams in the nation rushing the football, and I think we held them down to under 100 yards. Yeah. And if you look at the amount of the drives that they had, the amount of times that they had the ball more, that's even more impressive. That they had more longer time possession, because again, our offense keep giving them a short field. So I love this defense. I think our secondary continues to get better. Kool-Aid was the weak link tonight, in my personal opinion. He definitely did not have a good game at all. I think I agree with you, Coach Shawn. I think he's getting too cocky. Yeah. I think he's getting a little bit too cocky, and I think he needs to kind of dial that back. But no, I think overall wise, this defense deserves an A+, especially because they saved us tonight. They saved us.
Now, let's dive into the numbers as I give my assessment, guys. You talk about the rushing yards. They had 35 attempts. We had 26. They was able to generate 67 yards. We was able to generate 23. Penalties kept them in the game. We had 14 penalties for 99 yards. They had 4 penalties for 19 yards. Honestly, y'all,
14.
Five or 6 of those penalties is home cooking. I'm going on record saying that. I don't care. 5 or 6 of those penalties, especially the 2 on that last offensive drive before we had to punt, were BS, because their defensive lineman jumped in the neutral zone, and nobody moved until after that movement, and then nobody moved on the second call. Like you said, it looked like they were anticipating it. But for the type of numbers that we put up, time of possession was not a great disparity. They beat us by barely a minute on time of possession. They barely beat us by a minute and 41 seconds or something like that. So we were able to control the ball. The turnovers weren't in bad spots. We I think we were up when we had the interception, and same with the fumble. We were winning. So, defense definitely was the catalyst for this game. They were definitely the pivot point for this game, and they carried us, man. And we said this. We knew that this would be a year where we would, if we couldn't rely on our defense to allow the offense to grow and mesh together, it would be a long season for us. But our defense is showing up. And if I had to give our defense a grade like you all, I'm giving them an A+, man. You're talking about we really only gave up, defense only gave up really a field goal. A field goal, like one drive where they were able to drive outside of 50+ yards and score any points. They gave up 3 points. Everything else was plus field territory. So give them an A+, especially with Malachi going down, Lawson coming back from an injury. Defensive lineman rotation got cut in half a little bit. I didn't see a lot of Latham. I didn't see a lot of James Smith. I didn't see Jordan Renard tonight. So it looked like they dialing in who they want for that rotation. So A+ for the defense. Offense, I'm gonna give them a B-, guys, only because of the protection and how many opportunities I saw Jalen have. And I'm thinking on a scale of when he did complete those passes, when he did make the reads. Yes, he missed some big ones, but I know I gave the offensive line. I remember we gave them a C-, early in the year, but I saw them actually play a B- game. And the offense only had success because of the offensive line. Because if it was dependent upon Jalen Milroe improvising, and we knew that wasn't going to happen tonight. So offensive side, I get a whole offense a B-. Got to see better quarterback play, and we did have a few key drops. Early that could have changed the momentum and the look of the game or look at them first few drives. And we can grow from this though. MVPs, guys, let's get the MVPs in as we shut the show down. Offensive MVP. Let's go around the table. We're going to do offensive first, then we're going to go defensive, then we're going to do special teams, then we're going to do coach of the week, and then we're going to take it up out of here. So offensive MVP, Coach J, shoot.
Offensive MVP, I got to give it to Jermaine Burton. Should have got 200 yards if it wasn't for that fumble.
Right.
But yeah, you got to give Jermaine Burton a lot of credit. He stepped up today. He showed why he's one of the leaders of this team. And man, I love the trash talk he was to display. Man, it showed a lot of that from our personality. Defensively, I'm gonna give it to Dallas Turner. Right, I like Chris Braswell a little bit more, but I got to give it to Dallas. Was a machine today. Both of them were. I mean, honestly, you can give it either one, but I think Dallas Turner was an absolute machine. If Chris Braswell, if it wasn't for Dallas Turner, again, if he never would have shoved the dude, even though it should have never been called, that would have been 31 points, and Chris Braswell would have got the MVP. But it is what it is. And then special teams, Will Riker. Will Riker is my MVP of the whole game. I got to give Will Riker a lot of credit. The fact that is, for anyone that doesn't really know that much about special teams, that's never really kicked that much before, to be a kicker and then to automatically make that transition and be the emergency punter in those type of situations, that is hard as hell to do. That is not easy at all. And
catching the snap, getting it off.
Exactly, knowing the cadences, and then you have to kind of step in with your punt, and then because you're not really generating that much power when you're punting compared, because when you're kicking you have forward momentum. With punting, you don't have that much time, and it's ridiculous. Like, you got to have a leg in order for you to do that. So you got to give Will Riker a lot of credit today for stepping in for Burnup, who's one of the best punters in the nation. But no, definitely in my opinion, the whole MVP of the game, you got to give it to Will.
Right, Coach J. Take it away, man. Coach Shawn. I'm sorry. I'm looking at you like talking to. Go ahead, Coach Shawn.
Coach J actually took both of my MVPs. I got to go with Burden because I was on him before the game. Burden for me as well. This was his best game. They actually gave him the volume. They gave him the target share. He made the best of it. Defensively, it's definitely Dallas Turner, but I'll go somebody different. I'll go a little bit off script here. He may not have the stats, but those third and longs, he definitely caused ruckus. I'll give it to Tim Keenan on the defensive front.
Yes.
And obviously, overall MVP is Will Riker, man. That guy is money, and we're gonna need him down the stretch.
Okay, and I'm gonna go off script because y'all took mine too. So just to give us a different perspective, defensive MVP, I want to go with Terry and Arnold to go from the boundary, make a big play, to come to inside to make a big play, and to take over the signal calling duties in the secondary and trust your guys to call their own, because that's what I did see a lot of. I saw a lot of guys calling their own shot in the secondary tonight when it came to that man look and the switching. And I saw a lot of outside inside communication rather than inside outside communication, which is the best way. We all know if you want communication in match zone, match man, whatever, soft man, you want that outside inside communication because you from the outside you see everything over top. So I want to give it to Terry and Arnold on the defensive side. Offensively, I'm going to give it to Caden Proctor. Reason being, Caden Proctor got beat 2 plays out of this whole game. And the 2 plays he got beat on were stuff that you see juniors, seniors, first-round draft picks get beat on.
And when they lined up 0 on the outside, he was punishing Walter Nolan.
Them the whole freaking game. And I think, honestly, I'm going to give another MVP out too. Tommy Reese for understanding your strong points of your O-line. Anytime Proctor had one-on-one with that edge, we tried the run game to that side, whether it was interior or on the perimeter. And I can appreciate that. Even though it wasn't as effective as you would like it to be, to make that defense be honest and respect what we were doing, I'm going to give Caden Proctor MVP for his growth in this game.
Let me say one more thing, Smook, before you dip out. On a third down play, they teach offensive linemen if the defensive lineman jump, you hit him in the chest.
Yeah,
he hit Walter Nolan one time in the chest and knocked him clean off his feet, man. Knocked him clean off his feet, bro. He jumped to smack the ball. Caden hit him in the chest real hard, knocked him clean off his feet. I loved it. Then laid on him.
Nah, so clutch player of the game. Clutch player of the game. I like this one, Ephraim. Shotgun style. Coach J, clutch player of the game right now. Boom.
Chris Braswell.
Okay. Coach Shawn.
Caleb Downs.
I say, y'all took mine. I hate y'all. I'm gonna go Tim Keenan. I like Tim Keenan. He was clutch in a lot of those pass disruptions on the third down when we got off the field. So clutch player of the game. On the defense side, we all win defense. Go offense. Clutch player of the game on offense.
Caden Proctor.
Caden Proctor. Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Jose.
Right there.
I'm trying to think. I don't want to use Caden Proctor. I don't want to use the same play. You know what? I'm gonna say. You know what? I'll say Seth McLaughlin because
I knew he was gonna do it.
I'll say Seth McLaughlin because I didn't see as many low snaps.
It was 2 bad snaps, but they weren't horrible.
No, he flinched the ball.
Yeah, the flinches, and I don't blame him because your guard was Booker was still calling in plays, and that handover tapping stuff it can get mixy. So, dang, offensive side. We said Burton. I'm gonna go with Amari Neblack. He still made a couple big plays this game. So I like clutch player of the game. He made some clutch catches. No, Isaiah Bonds. We forget about my boy. Yeah. That boy nasty. I'm telling y'all right now. He's too fast. I don't as a quarterback, I don't want that much speed at my disposal. You might I don't know how to gauge that. That boy fast. He make what they said on Longest Yard. He make real fast people look not so fast. So, as we come to the end of this show, man, overall, final thoughts from your boy, Coach Smook. I'm proud of the win. I'm glad we get the win, but I definitely want to see us clean up the small things. I feel like we be more consistent with, and Jalen Milroe continues to grow and progress in his passing game. Our offensive run game, our rushing attack will begin to just explode, especially with him being involved in the run game.
Read Eric D's, Coach Smook.
What's that?
Read Eric D.
The first one right here?
Yeah.
The running backs with their Oh, yes. All 3 up. No, we only seen 2 tonight. I didn't see Jam or Justice get in there, but both of those guys were solid. And like Coach J, you pointed out earlier, and it was Roydell Williams that told Jalen about that last blitz when the corner almost ran off sides. That was Roy Williams. He pointed you could.
He touched him. Didn't he touch him?
He touched him. Somebody did it. And Jalen just was like staring at the front like, I didn't, and I don't want him to continue to do that, man. When he was confident, you could tell because he was scanning the defense before he snapped the ball. When he was feeling rushed or you could tell when he was uncomfortable because he did not go through his, steps like Bryce, like he said Bryce told him. So tonight, man, like I said, overall, this team It's going to get better, y'all. We're fortunate enough to see teams that have great weaknesses that plays into our offensive style and schemes favor if they play that same way against us. But we know we don't get that. But overall, I'm glad for the win. We knew it was going to be tough going into Kyle Field, 100,000 plus, y'all.
Yep.
And
They
our
set a
team
record
came out with a
attendance
win.
tonight. They set a record
Again,
attendance.
you remember that first record was against us when they
Yep.
first came into the SEC, and they did it again. So we're still everybody's Super Bowl. Roll Tide. I'm all Bama, y'all. I'm all Coach Saban. I'm all Kevin Steele in his defense. I'm buying into Reese now. So that's my take. Coach Jay, take it away, brother.
No, man, I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the future. I'm even more excited about this defense, man. I just we went from having a lot of question marks about this defense to now we legit may have 4 or 5 first rounders alone this year that could go on this defense. I mean, it is a joy to watch. Offensively, like I said, we're getting better. We're getting better.
Coach Jay, right there for you. Before you get all the way into the offense. Answer that right there.
There it is. There it is. Do we have the number one defense? Yeah, absolutely we do. I believe we have the number one defense. It's definitely not Texas anymore after what that performance against Oklahoma tonight in the Red River rivalry. So no, I think we do have the best defense in the country. I think we have the speed. We got the athleticism. We got the 2 outside boundary corners. I think when Malachi Moore does come back, I think he'll come back. I don't think he's going to be out for the season. I think he'll come back, but I think we have as far as depth wise as personnel, I think we have that. We have the defensive line. We definitely got the edge rushers there, and I think we have the complete package, and we have the play. We finally have the play caller that knows how to utilize this personnel to the best of their ability. And I didn't even talk about the inside linebackers. Didn't even talk about the inside linebackers and the amount of plays that we all know that they can make as well, 2, 3, maybe even 5 deep. So we definitely got the number one defense in the country.
Look, yes, sir. No more 3rd and goal. Man, you guys know how confident I was in the second half on 3rd down. I was not like I stopped worrying after the second quarter. I saw the adjustments being made, bro. I'm like, Kevin Steele is in his bag. After we got the 3rd down, forced the 3 and out on that one where he sent pressure, then he came back and sat back and let them, get the little cheap underneath route and get the 1st down. But he immediately went back to sending pressure on 3rd down. I was like, okay, we in a different space now. Coach Shawn, final thoughts, brother.
Final thoughts is James Daniel. I agree with you more than you know, brother. No more rush 3, drop 8. I can't stand that. That's a situational defense to me. That shouldn't be ever played as your base defense. So I agree with James Daniel 100%. For me, my final thought is, man.
Hit that right while you in it. So
which
hit
one?
That. Have Paul Malone.
Have y'all talked about the double catch
by Jace? The double catch by Jace.
I didn't see it, man.
Oh, so
that might have been the clutchest play of the game.
I forgot about it, but it was really the clutchest play of the game. Milroe rolls out. You remember he skipped it to Benson because Benson was wide open.
Should have just ran
it. I'd rather take a sack on that one. You get what I'm saying? If you're gonna take a sack at any point in the game, I wouldn't even been mad about having an 8th sack on that play. Don't throw that ball. Keep that clock running. They have no timeouts. But yeah, he almost the clutch play, he rolled out and had to dump it off to Jace. And Jace literally, like, if Jace had caught it on the first catch, he would have been down because his knee was on the ground. But he was able to tip it up and get his balance. Like, what is the duck walk? Y'all remember the duck walk? You remember you had to do the duck walk when you get in trouble on foot? Yeah, that's basically what he jumped up into that low power squat, sumo squat, and caught the ball and got that 1st down to seal it, man.
If he didn't catch that ball, we would have had to kick it to A&M, and they would have had a chance to win the game.
Nye Smith and Evan Stewart on some BS downfield, Musa Muhammad on some BS downfield crap. Like, the way they was calling it, we did not want the defense to be in that position. But yeah, Coach Shawn, I'm sorry. Take it away, brother.
In finishing, I'm still concerned about our 3rd down efficiency. I counted one time we was 1 of 7. I stopped counting after that. That's going to put us in a lot of bad situations if we don't get better on 3rd down. 3rd down is a very, very important down for me, man. On offense, that was the money down, as we called it. 3rd down was where you made your money. You extend drives, get a 1st down. We got to be better on 3rd down. We can't be caught in 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 11 and 3rd and 9. You know what I mean? So I hope we get better in that aspect. I like to focus on things. Exactly.
4 for 12.
Yeah, it was
3rd down.
4 for 12 on both and 4th down. We were the same. It was like identical.
12. Wow.
Coach Shawn, you know what's crazy though? for us to have these stats against A&M at A&M, brother, and to see what they did to Arkansas and Auburn on the road, that gives me confidence because this A&M team was consistent in what they're good at. Yeah. They were consistent in getting defensive line pressure, which we could have countered and capitalized off of, but we didn't. But they were consistent in what they do, and we were able to pull the win off at their field. Yeah. I have a lot, not like it just hit me when I went back and looked at those stats and looked how close they played us. You talking about talent, 5 stars, all this talent across the field on both sides of the ball. This was probably a better matchup for us than Texas. We really probably out talent wise. We probably have more talent on the roster than Texas, but they just out schemed us. This game was probably as even as you're going to get as far as SEC West play, in my opinion.
All 4 of those guys, Bama was in their final 3. You know, all 4 of those guys could have easily been at Bama. So my final thoughts is we just got to continue to get better on offense. We got to continue to get better scheme wise for Jalen. Jalen has to get better. Jalen has to get better at the quarterback spot on third downs in the intermediate routes. All around, he got to get better, and I think he will. I'm satisfied with this win, considering it was on the road, and we practically tried to give them the football game. We got out of here with a win. That's all that matter, I guess. And on to Arkansas, man.
Right. And one thing you said last week about being Mississippi State, and I think we was kind of, everybody thought we was at each other, but I was literally carrying on your message by saying, if we did what we need to do to beat Mississippi State, why do I always mess with Mississippi name? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Mississippi State, if we did what we need to do to beat them, I felt like we could do the same against Texas A&M. And we're seeing that. Now, my question is, are we playing down to the competition or are we playing up to the moment? And if we can continue to play up to the moment, I don't mind that. But if we come out against a team that is literally one-dimensional and our defense is playing lights out and their defense isn't stopping anybody, and we go out there and we struggle, I'm going to have concerns because when we see a Kentucky, we see Kentucky, I think, at the end of the season, don't we? Don't we get Kentucky?
I think it's after
LSU game.
After LSU, yeah.
I don't want to see Kentucky if we got to rely on our defense because they're going to be committed to running the ball and playing defense.
And that's on the road, I think, too.
Yes. You get what I'm saying? They're going to be committed to running the ball and playing defense. So if we can have Jalen make those quick reads when they're sending 6-man pressure against a team like Kentucky, that game could get dragged out and give other teams more film to work with. So I'm more inclined to believe that this team will continue to progress, though, guys. And that's just based off of the product we've been seeing every week, y'all.
Let me say real fast to Texas, y'all pissed me off. I flipped away with a minute left. I'm like, okay, they won 30-27. Texas got it. I seen a news break where they lost. I'm like, what the okay. Go ahead, Coach Jay.
Shawn, I lost $75 on that game. Yes, only because I didn't take the spread.
Yeah,
I should have took the spread and just went with the spread. But I took Texas outright. I took Texas outright, straight up. And I felt like it would end up being a close game. Oklahoma always find a way to show up something against Texas, but
Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, man, and he showed up tonight. And he didn't do nothing so special, bro. It's just Texas.
They did everything that we didn't do. They got pressure on Ewers. We did,
and they finished it. They finished the pressure on Ewers.
Yep.
And then in the offensive side, they capitalized on, like, Texas was giving them reads like they was giving us. They just capitalized on them.
Yeah.
So I'm good. I'm glad we won today and Texas didn't win, though. I will say that. That feels good. You know what I'm saying? So but the fact that Texas lost to another ranked opponent in conference, that helps our schedule. I see us moving up to possibly 7 in this poll, being that we went on the road and won. We honestly, Shawn and Coach Jay, we controlled this game. As much as we hate, as sloppy as it was, we controlled this game. We maintained the momentum. It was 5 plays where we kind of gave it up, but I feel like we maintained the momentum. Coach Jay, anything closing?
We just gotta get better. That's just not about it. We gotta figure out to not put our defense in bad situations. It's to a point, guys, where I'm super confident that if we can if you make our defense work 80 yards compared to them working with 50 yards or 40 yards or anything short field wise, I'm confident this defense is gonna give us a 3 and out, or they're gonna get. It's just more room to breathe. Just give this defense more room to breathe, and this offense has got to put us in a position to not punish Will Reichert. If you are inside the 35-yard line, that's his range.
Yeah.
If you are the 35 to 36-yard line, don't take any sacks. Just throw the ball out of bounds, or let's not take any negative plays. That's the main thing about this, guys. Is that kicker wise, we have a kicker just very similar to Justin Tucker at the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker wise, for the most part, why he's struggling this season, because they keep making him kick 70-yard field goals, because offensively they're just taking the negative yardage. If anywhere within 65 yards, that's his range. So stop making them kick 70-yard kicks. That's the same thing with us. Stop making our defense work with short field constantly, and stop punishing Will Reichert. If you are inside the 35, that's an automatic field goal, or that's at least a 90% chance he's going to make that field goal for us, and that's going to put up points where it can give our defense some confidence. If we can continue to do that and not turn to the football or put penalties, or just overall wise put Will Reichert and this defense in bad situations, it would have been perfectly fine. If we would have executed on half the times with penalties and less turnovers and fumbles and putting us in bad positions, we would have won this game easily by 3 scores. So that's just about it, man. Offensively, don't put this team in bad situations. That's all we need, man.
Hey, fellas, we not on no time limit, y'all. Y'all know post-game show, we try to keep it, less than an hour and a half, but y'all are here and y'all are commenting and y'all are giving good reactive comments. We had Jonathan Bowden with the $9.99 super chat. We have the receivers that if Jalen hits any of them on the hot routes when teams crowd the line, they could score at any moment. We saw it. I agree 100% with you. We saw it when he got it to Burton early with the quick slant. Like, give the guys a chance, Jalen. And I believe it's going to come on. I believe it's going to come along. My boy said, no, Smook, not 7. I don't remember what I said about 7. Georgia going to break Kentucky. Hey, we saw that coming. I knew they weren't going to be able to rely on no run game against Georgia. They won.
Yeah,
they won.
Great.
We won them.
Yeah.
Nah. That wasn't happening. We can talk about numbers all that, but nah. But so yeah, man. To end the show, man. Bama Nation, appreciate y'all for supporting the show tonight once again. Myself, Coach J, Coach Shawn, y'all know we just bring out a real raw, authentic stuff, man, and our analysis, our reactions, and we appreciate y'all for putting any type of solidity in what we're saying, validity in what we're saying, and we appreciate y'all. Don't forget, continue to come and support the channel, Bama Football on YouTube. We will be live again Monday night. Myself, Coach J, Coach Shawn, here on Monday, Bama Football on YouTube, Monday night with the coaches. I'm going to work on possibly getting some game clips uploaded so we can start getting into that. We're going to see how that works with, being monetized and all that stuff. We don't want to do nothing that's going to get us demonetized and nothing. So appreciate every super chat. Y'all just don't know, it means a lot, especially for a guy like me. I'm a content creator full time right now. So showing that love and showing that support, creates algorithm. People are starting to see me. I'm starting to get love on Twitter because of you all. So yeah. But yeah, you can find your boy Coach Smook at Coach Smook on every platform at Coach Smook. I'm pretty active right now. And just continue to support, man. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Kyle Henderson once again for Bama Football on YouTube and the platform and providing us the opportunity. Coach J, tell the people where they could find you, bro. Oh, he's on mute. Coach Shawn, take it away, bro.
You can find me right here, guys, on any Bama Football on YouTube platform. I'll be right here, tapped in, commenting, answering questions, going back and forth, having a good time. You find me right here.
For sure, man. Okay. And Coach J, take it away, brother.
Okay, yeah. If you find me on Twitter, Jant716, and if you want to see the uncut, unlive version, uncensored version of me, watch me on Jant Sports, especially because we're definitely gonna be talking about some Alabama football and a little bit more in depth and just a more kind of, I want to say angry version. I'm glad I kind of went on live because I definitely would have went on. I would have went off if I would have done the video. Definitely watch me. Yeah, definitely watch
you brought it back in. We brought you back in, brother.
Yeah, you brought me way back in. I would have went off. I would have went crazy. But no, I'm just Jan Sports on YouTube.
Oh man, I don't blame you, bro. I felt the same way, But then I'm one of those, like Coach Shawn. He's one of those progressive, preparing for the worst. I'm one of those progressive, seeing what it could be if we continue on the right trend. And I love you. I feel like the way me and Coach Shawn talk and the way we think, you talking about a staff, building the staff around those
That's what I
type
was
of
just about to
mindsets.
say. That's what I was just about to say. You got to
Bro,
have it all on the staff.
You got to, and understand, and being a leader, you know, I've always looked at myself a leader, but leaders that understand when it's your time to lead and when it's time to let somebody else lead. That's why this staff right here, this panel right here works good together. We bounce these ideas off each other in group text and backstage, and when we talk, and it really slows us down and makes us think, damn, you might be right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and what I'm
exactly.
saying might be leading to what you are already saying. So I love it, man. I love the chemistry on set. They asked a question, and we're gonna end it with this. They said 17 or 30. I guess they talking about Campbell or Marshall.
Can I go first?
Go ahead. I do.
For me, that's a really, really good question. That's why I wanted to go first, because that is a very good question. In the box, front seven, Trez is better. Trez is more physical. But Jihad, how does he pronounce it? Jihad is a more athletic linebacker on the perimeter, pass game. You know, he's a much more athletic linebacker than Trez, but Trez is a thumper though.
Yes. And I'm gonna go too. I'm gonna say, I was gonna say it just depends on the situation. I don't like Trez in coverage. But he can cover some routes. He can recover. He doesn't give up on a play, but he's not a strong coverage inside guy. Mm-hmm. But you want a guy that's gonna stuff the run and hit the blitz. You got Trez. Now, Campbell, he's solid in every area. He's not a specialist in coverage. He's not a specialist in pass rush. He's just solid in everything. So when you say that, you know, you're not missing them by leaving them in on runs on in the box. You know, you're not missing them by putting them in coverage. You're actually getting better coverage. So when we do that, I take Campbell as far as who can be the most for you. Coach Jay, take it away.
Oh boy, I love Campbell. I love Campbell because because he's the closest thing as far as the perfect package. Now he's not there yet. I think he needs to do a better job in the run game. And then I think that it's just lack of experience. That's just all it is for him. I think it's just right now a lack of experience. But you know, again, we've had fast linebackers like a Mac Wilson who wasn't as physical, but we all know could play out right open in space, can chase down players, can be excellent in pass coverage. Jihad Campbell is physical. He's a willing dude that's willing to go on and down there and be a thumper. I think with Jihad Campbell, it's just a lack of experience. Trez is definitely a monster though in the box. He's a monster. I cannot deny that for Trez. But I just think that for the most part, when it comes to sideline to sideline, when it comes to pass coverage, I think that's a little bit of a weakness for him. Yeah. And you know, I don't think that is really nothing much you can really do. I just think you either have it or you kind of just don't. Jihad has shown that he's capable of being that type of presence, being that type of player. But you know, again, I'm not mad at it, man. Like I said, we have 4 or 5 linebackers that have excellent strengths and, you know, some bad weaknesses, but you can make it. I mean, literally, we have 5 dudes that can start anywhere else in the country right now. And that's just a great feeling. That's a great feeling to say.
And we're not even talking about Sean Murphy, who's not even getting snaps. You know what I'm saying?
Tell Coach J, look at J2415.
Yeah. Comment your channel. I was just about to say that. Comment your channel in the chat for us, Coach J.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Jant Sports, that's JANCE, and then sports. You can find me at Jant Sports.
I just put it in the chat, y'all. Hey, and I think we said something. About, you know, who was just talking about, y'all? It slipped my mind when I wrote that comment. About the linebackers, y'all. Everybody's talking about Kendrick Blackshaw didn't get snaps. I think Blackshaw is bought into his role, being that he can't be key right now. So anytime he touches the field, he's your X factor. You have a 4-star, 5-star guy sitting on the bench that's cool with just playing spots, because when he gets in the game, he knows that he's getting the chance to peel his ears back and go get the quarterback or the running back. And so when you have that type of depth and rotation at linebacker, especially inside with Alabama, and the way Kevin Steele is calling his defense, that plays into our favor. So I don't think guys are whining about snaps. Even last week, people were talking about the wide receivers complaining. How many pass attempts did Jalen Monroe have tonight? 33 of them. And 11 of them, 11 of the attempts went to Jermaine Burton. So you can't say he's not spreading the ball around. He had 33 attempts. He's spreading the ball around. The attempts are going to come. It's just based off how the defense was playing. And like you said, Coach Shawn, live it up. These teams, I believe Coach Saban is in that stage of, we only going to do what we have to do to win. There's no point of getting brownie points. Ain't no point of dressing it up. putting icing on the cake. No, for what? This ain't a national championship. We just want to win. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we need W's in order to get into the playoffs. At the end of the day, that's all. If Alabama won every game 7-6, every game of the season, all 13 games, and they went out and won 7-6, you couldn't keep Alabama out of the playoffs as an SEC champ and 13 wins on they doggone schedule.
Of course.
At the end of the day, you can't. Because that means nobody can beat us. We're the better team on the field. Whenever our matchups, we're winning. So that's what I'm saying. But at this point, our team is just improving, y'all.
Let me say shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got some very knowledgeable people that be in our chat. And, I'm not a content creator like my boy, Coach Smook and Coach Jay. Not yet anyway. I'm only on here. You know what I mean? I just wasn't never really into content, stuff like that. I didn't know much about it outside of what I do for a living. And you guys in the chat are great, man. You guys have great questions. You care about the team. You make it fun for us. Coach Jay and Coach Smook, I gravitated to these guys, me personally, because I heard Coach Smook on another show and heard Coach Jay on this show, and their mindset, I listen to a lot of fans, and some fans, they don't know a third down from a touchdown. You know what I mean? And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Love those guys, right? It's a place for everybody, right? We need somebody to cheer, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
But these guys' content drew me to them. I used to love listening to Coach Jay on this show. I used to love Coach Smook would call the other show. So these guys were more here with me. And so to link up with these guys was very, very big. And we appreciate you guys in the chat. And shout out to Kyle for making it all possible.
Hey, professionally certified hater, I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think Hale needs to be forced into no bigger role right now. I like where he's at because that's going to allow him to continue to grow and next year be possibly featured as that primary because Bonds is coming back. Bonds is going to be number one next year. I don't care what y'all say. Bonds is going to be before Waddle got hurt. Smitty wasn't the number one guy. Y'all better go check the numbers. Go check your looks. Waddle was that guy. I feel like we're going to have an opportunity to have 3 guys again next year that is going to be able to lead the group, but we're going to still have a deep rotation. But Hale, I like his confidence right now. One thing I do want to highlight, and like I said, I don't think we have a time limit on the show. You guys keep bringing good stuff up. Kobe Prentice was in the game, man. He said, Eric said, where's Kobe? He was in. He caught a clutch. He had a first down catch. Yeah, he had a nice first down catch. He made a strong play yards after catch play. But it's hard to key guys, y'all. Jermaine Burton was he's the starter. He's the most senior guy. He's eating the first string corner that they have out there. You don't sit a guy like that. You feed him, and that's what we wanted to see. I honestly believe if Jace McClellan was eating in the run game early, we would have fed Jace McClellan. If the read option was working early, we would have kept going with that. I feel like Tommy Rees has bought into the Nick Saban mindset. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Simple. Pass game was working tonight. Pass game was cooking. Milrow made a few bad reads, but luckily we got athletic guys who are hungry for the ball and attacking the ball in the air. He said, feed that hot hand. Mike Lee, you on point tonight. Me and Mike Lee go back to, I want to say about 2 or 3 years now. Me and Mike Lee. He used to be in TDA with us. Sicario, SPH8, Shawn from Huntsville is awesome.
Appreciate you, Sicario. Much love to you, brother.
Hell has so much potential, but makes sense. Yeah, you certified. That's what I'm saying about Justice Haynes. Jace McClellan and Roydell Williams has given me no reason to force Justice out there to grow up. When it's his time, it will happen. He said next year, we have guys this year, Coach Smook, we have a top 3. We do. And you know what's crazy about our receiving core? And I think Coach Shawn said this earlier in the year. We're one of the teams that's fortunate enough that if your first 3 not working, you can put in a whole new 3 and they'll
a whole fact.
So shout out to Mike Lee for the 99-cent super chat again, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
Shout out Mike Lee.
Coach Jay, you got some 2015 supporters right here. You remember 2015, your 2015 comment. You got Kendall. I don't want to see 2015 though. I
listen. I love a Darius Stewart, man. I love a Darius Stewart, and I love Cam Sams. I love all those guys to death. And new.
Yeah, my boy, Blonde with Brains. Oh, that's a female. I'm sorry. Apologies. Let's celebrate them and let them know the state of Alabama is grateful for the intensity. Oh yeah, we. You know what, guys? When we're calling out things that's wrong, that's just us being football analysts. We can't be fans on the show because as a fan, I don't care. I used to watch the game. I don't care how we got to win. You know, when we were struggling, when we didn't come out and be dominant, I didn't care how we got to win. Now, if we came out early and went dominant and ended up winning close games, that's when I would become, yeah, why do you win? But a game like tonight, if I didn't have to come on the show, I would have had the same type of gripes and complaints sitting on the back porch, sipping on my little drink, you know, talking to myself or texting my group chat. I would have had the same type of complaints. But y'all got to understand, we have to bring the real life football perspective to this and experience on all levels. You have this panel, we have experience on all levels, and we like to give y'all the real, the behind, not necessarily behind the scenes, but the football aspect, because a lot of y'all are just fans. A lot of y'all have not been able to line up on a college level, on the D1 level, or I don't care. College football is different from high school. The dedication level is different. I don't care what level you play on, D3, NAIA, it's different from high school. So it's just a different type of perspective we're giving you all, and I could tell that it creates that same type of energy in y'all to be like, okay, I might be thinking on a different level, you know, maybe these guys. So we appreciate that, like Coach Shawn said. But we're just dragging the show along right now because
shout out to Jarvis, man. Sorry, Coach. Shout out to Jarvis, man. Admin. Shout out to Jarvis. Always in the chat, man. Roll Tide, Jarvis.
Hey, Jarvis, go back, man. It's a lot of us in this Bama fan base. If y'all wanted to start doing content, y'all will blow up too, because a lot of y'all say a lot of same stuff we say, man. And it's just all about being realist about fans. Hold up, let's see. I was
just about to tell you.
Yeah, fans, just make sure you do your part and let the haters know all the hate was for nothing. They was wrong again. Y'all, let me tell you, I want y'all to get it. Bump the haters, bump Georgia fans, bump Auburn fans, bump Tennessee fans. I like our chances against all them with the type of team that showed up last week. I won't say necessarily this week, but at home, this team that show up tonight, if this team show up at home, it's a different result, I believe.
Facts.
Yeah, but
facts.
Let's not. I'm gonna put this charge on the Alabama fan base. Coach Jay, you might be along with me, Coach Shawn. You might feel me. I'm gonna put this against the Bama fan base. Let's get these fair weather fans, these people that still doubt in Milroe, these people that still questioning Coach Saban if he's done or not. Let's start going at them, because they're the ones echoing the message that's giving the outside fan base the energy to come at us. It's not us. It's not the real fans. It's not the people that understand and trust the process. It's literally the ones that don't know a lick about football. And if Coach Saban was to retire today, they'll be a Georgia fan tomorrow.
Yeah.
So let's forget Auburn fans. They got their own problems. They have running backs at quarterback. They have punters at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Georgia, they got a defense. They back-to-back national champ. Let them have it. Let's clean our fan base up. Let's do what they call damage control in our fan base.
I got a question for the chat and the coaches, because I know which one I dislike the most. But this is an interesting question. Just a little something I want to know.
Don't ask me.
What fan base do you dislike the most? Let me tell you mine real quick. See, me, I don't hate Auburn fans. They just like the little brother you pluck upside the head every once in a while. For me, it's Tennessee. I can't stand them dudes, man. I hope, bro.
What? See, say it again.
Tennessee, man. Bro, I can't stand Tennessee fan. I used to work with this dude named Dave Cox, and this cat used to have a Tennessee tattoo on his arm, and he would buy a hat of every team Alabama played, right? Every team Alabama played, he would go buy the hat and wear it around. I'm like, bro, so you really a Bama fan, right? You just a Bama. No, I mean, Tennessee fans to me are bro, they like the worst ever to me. So for me, I want to know in the fan base, what fan base do you guys dislike the most?
They got some coming in. Somebody said Ohio State. You must be from up north, because
hey, I can dig it. Ohio State,
I can dig it, but you know, being in the South, we care less about them up
Texas
north boys.
And Clemson, really?
Texas, I don't mind Texas fan base.
Me either.
They fun to talk football with. They not delusional. Now,
what about Coach J? I want to know Coach J.
Coach J, what fan base you hate, brother?
I think it would be A&M fans.
Really?
I think it's A&M. Yeah, because A&M, they're just delusional. They're like Cowboys fans, man. When they just think they're gonna win the championship every single year. Oh, this is gonna be our year. We're gonna win the SC championship, and we got all this money and all this oil money and spending money and that's
facts, Coach J. They love talking money. That's facts.
Hey, Mike Lee, you like me. I hate Bama fans that's been Bama fans since Coach Saban came. You know, that's the worst fan base
Now,
to me.
Bama fans will be second. That'll be second to me. I'm
them
sorry.
Bama fans. Yeah.
Some of y'all Bama
Hey,
fans. Some of y'all Bama
Donna,
fans, man.
Donna got the comment of the night. Gary off of CBS. That's the worst.
Yeah.
That's oh my God, y'all.
How you pronounce his young man name? Haseo.
Hosea.
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 Facts, Hosea. All facts, man.
Okay,
a lot of people dislike LSU fans too.
I don't mind LSU, bro. I mean, because I've been to Alabama LSU at night. You know what I'm saying? At Death Valley. So I got to see the interaction with the actual fan base tailgating, and
they give me food. I'm good with them.
Yeah, they feed you good.
They eat good.
The last Tennessee Alabama game I went to when he was here, this was matter of fact, it wasn't the last one. It was like it's been a few years ago. It wasn't this last, it's been like 2 or 3 years ago.
So 2016,
2016, 17.
Yeah, Hurts was like starting quarterback.
Yeah,
bro.
I was in the hotel. We stayed all the way in Birmingham. We was in the Sheraton. I never forget, man. It was this old Tennessee fan. Dude was probably 70 years old. And it was this Bama fan. He probably was 70 years old. And the Tennessee fan got off the elevator, and him and the Bama fan was arguing. And these dudes was like 70, and the Bama fan steals on him. It was a week.
Steals on him.
I was like, yes.
Man.
He steals on the dude. And these dudes old. I mean, it was like a slow punch. But I was like, this Tennessee thing different. It's different.
Let me tell you, I think mine would have to be in the recent years, and I want to say like the past since 2017. It's been Georgia.
Yeah.
Georgia fan base is really like I used to feel the same way about Georgia as I felt about LSU. I respectfully hate LSU. I respectfully hate Florida. You know, their fan base.
Yeah, their fan base is crazy too.
They just a joke to me. Like Florida, they is a joke. But we got history at Florida with the first SEC championship and all that stuff. So but Georgia, man, Georgia fans, it's not even Georgia team, because I actually like what Kirby Smart is doing at Georgia. I miss Kirby Smart. Yeah. I wish Kirby Smart had never went to Georgia. I'm that fan. I miss Kirby. I feel like a lot of Saban's success is because of Kirby. And we that's another argument for another day, but we can't discount what Kirby did when he was at Bama. And then to leave Bama and go and do it at Georgia, it was set up for him. He had the talent there, but he's carrying it on. So but it's that fan base, man, and this sense of, why are y'all still barking at us? Y'all the two champs 2 times back to back. Why y'all
barking? They were worried about us. Like what?
Facts, coach. Yeah, they deep in Bama's chats, all of them,
all the time, bro. That is, bro. Yeah. I will tell you this. Maybe not on this channel, but other channels that I do podcasts on, I have more Georgia fans coming in trolling than any other fan base, and that's Texas, who beat us. Georgia has only beat us in the past 5 meetings. They've only beat us once.
1-4, 1-4, 1-5, 1-4. Yeah,
1-4. So,
and the real Georgia fans know that. The real Georgia fans know that.
And these are Kirby Smart age Georgia fans, or Mark Richt. I've been quiet the whole Mark Richt era Georgia fans. That's what it is. And you can't get no energy with me when you that type of fan. So
because you don't know no better.
Yeah. Coach Jay, you said who'd you say, Coach Jay?
I said that. I said A&M fans, but you might be right. I think I might have to switch that pick. I forgot about Georgia fans. These Georgia, whatever, especially when I'm doing videos, man. These Georgia fans, man, they be coming in here. 2-time national champion and third.
What do we do to hurt y'all? Like, I hear more Bama fans congratulating and glad that it's Georgia winning, because we don't want Auburn winning. I don't want Auburn, Tennessee winning it. If LSU beat us that season and then win it, I'm like, okay. But I would hate to see Tennessee or Auburn win it. And at this point now, I don't want to see Georgia win nothing. I was hoping Kentucky came out and punched them in the mouth, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. I respect what they're doing on the field. But that fan base, just for the sake of the fan base, I love to see Georgia struggle. Like last week against Auburn, I giggled so long. My giggles were so giggly. Oh my God.
I don't even get ramped up when I be pissed off when we lose. But you know how you get just utterly sick when that Tennessee game last year, bro, was one of the worst I felt in years, bro. I think I was physically sick. You know what I mean? I told y'all my neighbor was knocking on my door. You know, he real country. He from Somerville or Summertown or some little town. And he talked, Shawn, I know you in the house, Shawn. Open the door, Shawn. I ain't even open the door. He's a Tennessee fan. Bro, I couldn't have took it. We lost Tennessee, bro, and I was physically unable to perform. I hate Tennessee, bro. I just don't like them.
I think the only thing closest to that Tennessee loss last year, the only feeling close to that was kick 6 year.
Yeah, that was bad.
Kick 6. I was in Texas, and you know, I was stationed at Texas at Fort Hood.
Thanks,
and I was surrounded by LSU, Arkansas. You remember we ran through them teams that year.
Yep.
And so when they ran that kick 6 back, it's 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night, Central Standard Time. My neighbors, some of my soldiers are pulling up to my house to knock on my door to pick at me because I'm the only real Alabama fan they know. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see Georgia to drop one unexpected. I was happy when Tennessee lost to Florida. Like Auburn losing to A&M and us winning against A&M tonight gives me confidence. Like,
bro, these dudes had to go taking it out their stadium. I was like, bro,
and they carried it in the river.
Thank you.
They threw
adding to the pollution problem. Look, we're not gonna talk about environmentalist conversion,
dude,
and you know what I'm saying?
Crazy, bro. And the fans was trying to jump on it was one of our I think he was a strength and conditioning assistant. The fans was trying to fight the dude.
Fight him, and then got mad because Jermaine Barton was about to stick on girl after she tried to spit at him. They ain't want to talk about that.
Nah, they ain't want to talk about that, man. Tennessee is the one we can't lose to, bro. We just can't.
My boy said, professionally certified hater said, you know how poverty Tennessee was for their fans to come onto the field and tear down a field goal post after beating us in the first time in 15 years.
Facts.
And the fact they didn't even celebrate like that against Tennessee and Florida. They didn't celebrate like that against Florida a few years ago after they had like 11-year stint or some crazy junk like that of not beating Florida. So
it's the fact that their fans tried to, because shots my boy Mark, he was at the game and he said the amount of Tennessee fans after the game that tried to fight him, like they just won and they're more angry at him just for him showing up at the game. And it was a lot. If you were at that game, you know it was a lot of bad stuff.
Man.
Hey, while we talking about Tennessee fans, I tell you, a fan base, they frats when they travel, they are sloppy drunks and they get in a lot of mess.
Miami, Ole Miss. Okay.
I say Miami too because I was able to experience the Miami jump.
Miami fans is they might be the most delusional fans.
Yes,
they crazy. Bruh, you been dead for years now. Stop it. Respectfully to y'all, but stop it. Y'all ain't won since rotary phones. Like, stop it. You know
but Ole Miss fans, I was able to my first time when Ole Miss came to Jalen Hurts year when Ole Miss came to us. Man, it was like the frat boys, they had their little shirt and tie on, suit jackets, you know, and they was talking trash to some Alabama baseball boys who clearly were not on, you know, the varsity. They were clearly the red shirts guys, you know, guys not, and they were talking trash. We walking up this year, I got these tickets for $33. Alabama Ole Miss. I'm up in the nosebleeds this game. So I ain't tripping. No, I'm there for the vibes. Man, we walking up the stairs and I just so happen to be on Snapchat. And I hear the one of the little frat boys from Ole Miss, they got their little pins on. F a roll tide, F you. And next thing you know, all three of them come rolling down them stairs, getting stumped down the stairs. I'm like, see? And then get in the stands. It's a fight in the stands. Ole Miss fans throwing drinks at people, sneaking liquor in the stadium before they pass that. So I say Ole Miss kind of got trashy, but they don't be relevant enough to be trashy. So, you know, but just personal experience. But yeah. I don't know. We kind of vibing right now, y'all. We sitting at 158. We don't want to carry this to 2 hours. So tune in Monday. We're going to have more post-game reaction. I know we're going to be able to watch the film, you know, get a little bit more in depth. And appreciate y'all for showing up, y'all. We like the vibe that you are. I think everybody took a deep breath and calmed down. And we appreciate the win as always, but definitely got room to grow, but can't argue with a win at the end of the day.
Thanks.
So from myself, Coach Jeric at Gen Sports, and Coach Shawn from Huntsville, we want to say roll tide to the chat and see y'all on Monday.
Roll tide.
Roll tide.